Esos are modelos. Ding.
Dude, I don't know if you've been doing the same thing. Oh, wait. Actually, pin in that. We just started.
Start over.
I think that's funny because it connects. My sister, she recently went on a long, kind of like a mini road trip for her birthday. Mm-hmm. Shout out. Because she might listen to this.
Shout out. Happy birthday.
Dude, she told me that on her road trip, it was really long and it was really boring. So she put on our podcast.
Really?
Dude, and she was like, you two are funny.
Wow.
Dude,
that is the nicest thing your sister has ever said about me, but not to me.
No, this is actually the nicest thing she said about me, and I've known her my whole life. No, she told me that like she's watched our like baby episodes, and then she has listened to our current episodes, and she's like, dude, the growth
really
that both you and Yajaira show.
Oh, that is so sweet.
So to pull that pin out, dude, sometimes when I need a good laugh, I listen to like some of our current episodes because they're fucking funny.
No, same here,
dude.
And then when I'm missing you, I'm like, wow.
I know.
Now I miss you even more.
It's so funny because sometimes I'll listen to an episode and you'll say something and I'm like, is it weird if I just text you, Yajaira, and be like, oh, to continue that?
You know what? Now that I've digested this, I want to continue this conversation that we had like 20 episodes ago.
Yeah. Dude, my comfort episode is our Angels and Man one.
Really?
I fucking love that episode.
Mine was... what's that really bad book?
Oh my God. The Gina Maxwell one, Dark King?
But no, Penelope Douglas.
Oh, Bully?
The Bully.
Oh dude, that one's so funny.
That one was my comfort episode for a while.
Dude.
It was so good.
I can't. I still remember Gina Maxwell's Dark King when you read the review and both of us fucking laughed.
We were just dying. Oh my God. I followed that reviewer and sometimes I don't know if it's a she. They are really funny.
Dude, that's so fucking funny. But like to connect this to what I wanted to talk about, I feel like it's nice having been like doing this podcast for 3 years because we've kind of developed this, I don't know, like this relationship with reading where it's like it's something we do for enjoyment, and although we might love the book or dislike the book, it's never like a bad conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel go ahead.
I feel the exact same way. I think either way, it's still just really fun to talk about with your bestie. Like, I don't know, like, you know, same for our listeners. Like, if you enjoy it, it's like 3 besties.
Dude, I know.
You remember that one comment? Dude.
I know. You need to post the picture.
Boom. I don't remember what episode it was, but
I will find it because it's so funny.
It was such a good comment.
She said that listening to us feels like that meme photo of that kid sitting with a poster of girls hanging out.
Just like the kid, like there's kids laughing. I don't know. I'm butchering the comment, but it was so fucking
It's
good.
the funniest shit I've ever heard. And I'm glad people feel like that because I don't know. I've been trying to be more on social media and it's hard.
And you're doing amazing.
Thank you. But it's hard because I feel like what we saw at the beginning of like book talk and bookstagram, and I'm also on book Twitter, so like I see these realms and they have changed since we've started.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't speak for everyone, but sometimes it feels like it's changed for the worse.
It honestly, I'm not online too much. I needed a cleanse, you know, but I think I'm almost ready to get back. But anyway, what I've noticed, there's kind of like a trend right now of just like complaining about things regarding reading, which is weird. Because the other day we talked about that one influencer, I think they're an influencer, where they couldn't get into Six of Crows because there was too many words.
Yeah.
And recently you sent me this one post that said
she doesn't like reading long paragraphs, like, so she just skips up.
She said if a paragraph is this long, I'm not reading that.
If I open a book and it has words, no thank you.
I'm not reading that actually.
No.
Oh, you think I'm reading? No.
Oh, no. So it feels like although the book community kind of boomed during COVID times, now people who do not have time to read are like, but I still kind of like the aesthetic. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with not being an avid reader. Like you can read a book and something that would normally take you a day before during COVID time might take you a month. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like now people just want to be part of the, oh yeah, I read A Little Life, even if you didn't.
And it's also capitalism.
Yeah.
It's like you just want to have all the fucking books just for the aesthetic. Which again, I'm going to be honest, I like talking about it. But even when you sent me that post of if a paragraph is this long, I'm not reading it. I don't care. Like I literally don't care. Don't read it. I don't care.
That's why I'm kind of like, it's nice, although small, still growing. It's nice to have just both of us not allowing that to sway how we feel about what we talk about, you know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it just kind of feels like we watched a show and now you and I are going to talk shit about it, you know?
He's like, whoa, did you see that?
And I don't know. I feel like that's what reading should be because that's what it was when I was a kid. So I don't know where that went and it makes me kind of sad.
I mean, I don't know if it was the same for you, but I feel like when I was a kid and I loved reading, no one liked reading. It was just me by myself. So I never really got to talk to anyone about it.
I do remember it wasn't until high school where I met a few people that loved reading. But I remember in middle school specifically, oh my God, my trauma.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so The Hunger Games. I remember I won that book because
you won it?
Yeah, because when it came out, my school had done this thing where we all had to AR test to figure out where your reading level was. And I was in 6th grade, but I tested out of 12th. Like I tested really high up, so my reading level, I don't know, she was just kind of up there. That means nothing
above
now.
average.
That means nothing now. But to them, that was like, oh my gosh, like we don't have any books in the library that like meet the qualifications.
That suit you.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Bible? They give me like the encyclopedias.
It's like all Shakespearean shit.
There was books, but honestly, like it was back then. They didn't check if these books were kid friendly. And some of the shit I read scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, traumatizing.
Yeah. So I remember the librarian was just so happy. She went out and with her personal money saw that the Hunger Games had came out and was like, oh, I hear that everyone's really into it. And she got it for me. And I remember being so excited and I started it and I was super into it. And then just everyone I was friends with at that time was just like, the Hunger Games. Oh, you're hungry? Oh, that's why you're reading the Hunger. And just like, no. Like, oh, you know, what's that about? And I remember we used to have homeroom and I would read during homeroom and everyone was like, why are you reading? Like, why aren't you talking? And I was like, you know what's going on in this shit? You don't know about PETA. You don't know. And then years and years later, the Hunger Games movies came out and everyone was like, no, I loved it when it came out.
Oh,
I'm like, oh,
God.
fucking.
That was
you
me.
weren't there. Day one, that was me.
That was me with Twilight.
Dude.
After it blew up, everyone, because people had seen me reading it.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God, can I borrow it?
No.
People wanted to borrow it. And I was like, ooh, my sister actually is borrowing it currently, right now.
My blood, sweat, and tears are in this. You're not borrowing it. You weren't there day one.
My sister didn't have it.
Oh Sorry. The wind of my hair.
I just didn't want to give it to them. I was so scared.
I understand because that's how I felt about the Hunger Games. And I like felt so, what's the word? Like ownership to it. Because of that.
You felt protective over the Hunger Games.
So like to me, when I met my friends in high school that did like reading, it was just kind of like, oh my God. It didn't last, by the way, because I kept reading and they stopped.
Oh, like they stopped reading. I thought you meant like the friendships didn't last.
I mean, they were fine. You know, it's those types of friendships that like when you grew up, the Hunger Games didn't hold us together.
It wasn't the glue.
I know.
Damn. Oh, well.
But I just miss that, like being able to talk about books. And I have a friend that that I met at work 3 years ago. And she told me she wanted to get into a book club. And dude, I fucking love her if she ever watches this. But I told her like, you just should.
Just,
you know, because she always has excuses of like, oh, but I have to like gather people. We all need it. And I was like, no, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I'm off my soapbox.
No. I love the soapbox.
My soapbox is just 40 copies of The Hunger Games. I just love that series so much. I feel so connected to it. If you ask me what it's about, I forgot. I love it.
We would have to reread it.
It's just that first book. It meant so much to me when I was a kid.
Yeah. Do you think a book where I'm putting you in the story, okay? So this is all in Minecraft.
Okay. Okay.
So
take me there.
Let's say your sister is like, hey, help me hide a body. Do you think a story with that premise could fix your life?
I really hope it can't, but in Minecraft, I think it could.
Welcome to another episode of the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli. Today we are talking about a book that this author graciously gave us. She gave it to us as an ARC, and I feel so bad because I think, that's what I'm checking right now, I think it was already released.
Oh, was it?
I don't know. Yes, this book was released August 13th. So we're late by a month. I'm so sorry, but we really appreciated receiving this book.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we were doing really well with our bulk filming at that time. So we were already.
Yeah, we had already had so many episodes lined up. But I really appreciate it. I love when authors, specifically authors and not their like agents, reach out.
I know.
There's something about it.
It's special, honestly.
So I do want to mention this author had said in their email that she had listened to our Frida McFadden episodes.
Oh,
and
yes.
she was like, that's my girly. That's not how she said it. she said that her first book that she had written, Frida McFadden read, right? And loved it.
Praised it.
So she was like, I feel like I'm very similar to Frida McFadden. So please, if you would, if you can read my second book that's coming out soon. That's out now. It's called The Cemetery Spot. Yeah. So this is a standalone thriller? Horror?
I think I would say thriller.
Okay. Where do we even start?
Well, I like how it's split between what the hell is currently happening and the siblings in the past. So our main character's name is April. Ape. And her sister's name is August or Auggie. And I think we should start with the past. I think we should talk about how they were as teenagers.
Yeah.
April was turning 13, I believe. And I don't remember August's age exactly, but I think she was like a year or 2 years older.
She was a freshman, so maybe 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we're finding out about our characters, it's April's 13th birthday. And it's very like, it's one of those thrillers where it's like, and I can't believe that happened. The next page, we're like in a whole different timeline.
Yeah.
So it's her 13th birthday, and August tells her that they should like go do something, right? Like, let's go have some fun. For your 13th birthday, let's go have some fun. And then they go to the train, like a train track or something. And don't they like smoke pot together? Yeah,
they do, because August, by the way, is so much more like petite than her sister April, even though her sister April is like the younger sister.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll hold that. I'll put a pin in that.
Okay. We're skipping a little, but I do want to say in the past, it's always said that April and August have just always been there for each other. Although they're like polar opposites. August is very popular and very well liked. She doesn't do well in school, but she has popularity. Meanwhile, April does not have many friends, but because they're sisters, they still do a lot together. So on April's 13th birthday, they do go to smoke pot together. But there's this weird instance where this man just comes up to them, specifically August, and just says like, you fucking killed my friend. Yeah. Like, how the fuck can you do that? Like, how fucking dare you? And it's
very hostile.
It's cut short because our character April runs to her mom and is like, you need to come over here. And her mom comes. I think the guy's gone by then, but she yells at April. Or sorry, she yells at August and is like, what the fuck are you doing? You two are already like fuck ups and you're the oldest sister and you're a bigger fuck up. Like it's very like it happens all at once. But honestly, it feels like a whiplash because this story, like you said, in present time, they're trying to get rid of a body. And it just feels weird that one of the first instances we see in their childhood is
a body.
August being accused of killing someone.
Well, yeah. Let's continue with the past.
Okay.
So the mother is pissed because she's throwing a party for April's birthday. And April, because she was running away and, you know, this whole shit with this boy was happening, she's like dirty now. And the mom's just like, oh my God, you need to go change your dress. You need to go like look presentable, blah, blah, whatever, right? And then she grounds her, obviously after the party. But August is like, hey, let's sneak out and have some fun. So they sneak out and they go to the cemetery spot, which there's like a myth or like a urban legend of someone offing themselves in this spot, right? It was a priest, I think.
That's the new cemetery spot. The old one didn't have that.
Wait, but I could have sworn they were like, oh, it's haunted. I guess
the old cemetery spot wasn't. The new one is. The old cemetery spot is just known as a place where like high schoolers go and like make out.
And they hang out, right?
Yeah.
So then they go there and I don't remember the guy's name for some reason.
His name was, starts with a D.
Dominic? Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Is it Dominic? I might be completely wrong.
I think it is Dominic. Well, they get to the cemetery spot and a football player who's very popular approaches April and he's like, hey girl. Well, actually, when he approaches her, he's very like nice and sweet. And it seems like he does want to have a friendship with her. So they're hitting it off, whatever. But then all of a sudden, he's just like starts calling her Ape, which she says is unfortunately her nickname that she doesn't love. But then he says, oh, we collectively are gonna our word ape. But he
it's
says,
funny
he says the
rhymes.
word. He says the word, obviously. And she's confused and she's scared. And then he gets on top of her and wants to take advantage of her, but then all of a sudden April's sister August hits him in the back of the head,
Dominic,
and I think he dies like immediately. Yeah,
because it's so gory. If you're not into gore, maybe don't listen to this one because there's a lot of it.
Also, we are gonna spoil.
Yeah,
we're gonna spoil basically the whole book.
It's described that she hit this man with such force that like pieces of his brain were on the rock.
So gross.
If I remember correctly. Imagine we get an email. No, I didn't say that. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Did we say
sorry,
the
Queen.
author's name?
Yeah, Jenna Moquin.
Okay. I don't remember.
I think if we didn't get what I said right now, put it we're not going to remember. It's fucking gory.
Yeah.
And I just want to really emphasize, we're still talking about the past. It's so fucking weird to me. Because I tried to take a step back and be like, okay, if I was a fucking adult seeing this shit, my first thought is, how were you strong enough and knew the amount of strength you had to give to kill that man?
I think we know why, because she has experience.
Did she? Okay, that's why. That's why I'm wondering, that beginning part when April had turned 13, did she actually kill someone? Then also?
The sister? August?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's never confirmed, but I think so.
That's fucking crazy.
I think it's basically trying to tell us that she's seasoned in this, which is weird, but...
That is weird.
But what I found a little bit weirder was that this was at a party. So I imagined them to be like in the middle of the party, but I guess they were in the outskirts of the party. Because then they just bury the body.
Well, it wasn't,
no, they don't bury the body.
They leave him there.
They leave him there. But they kind of like stage it where it's like, oh, he just fell.
To me, it kind of felt like it was a bunch of teenagers that just their hormones were crazy. They have one keg in the middle and they all just go to a corner and fuck.
Oh my God.
That's what it felt like.
That's not what it said, though. But...
No, but that was like the implication of the party. So that's fucking weird
disgusting.
as fuck. Yeah, it's disgusting. I hate it. Teenager.
I'm just pissed now.
I just sit like this the whole episode. I don't talk anymore.
But can I say something?
Yes.
I did really love the just juxtaposition between the sisters. So August being super petite, looks very sweet, innocent, docile, and then April is described to be like much bigger.
And I mean, the fact that her nickname's Ape, it like gives you the implication that she can cause harm.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like August is the one who's a little unhinged.
And it's funny because before Dominic dies, there's a point where Dominic's like, you're so much nicer, April, because your sister, she's just weird as fuck. Like, she draws gory shit in art. And I remember reading that and I had to go back because I was like, we're talking about August, right? The little one?
The tiny one?
The little, put it in your pocket, August? I was so like, what the fuck is... So when this story, and I'm still not going to talk about the present time, but when this story was jumping back and forth, I'd be like, that's not fucking August. That's not her.
That's not my girl.
That's not my girlie that I know. I don't know. I did not trust August this entire book.
Wow.
Did you? Were you just like, I get it?
No, I didn't trust her either, but I thought you would have trusted her a little bit.
Well, to talk about my favorite thing, hold on. To talk about my favorite thing, unreliable narrators. I think that it's interesting seeing this book play out in this, like, the skewed perspective that April has about her sister. Because I like that the first thing she thinks after she sees her sister unalive someone is the fact that's like, wow, she's a superhero.
She saved me. Yeah.
And
which she did.
She did save her, but it's just so like, she's a teen. She couldn't take a step back and be like, oh my gosh, my sister just unalived someone. You know?
Well, I think she was so scared.
I know.
And then so they never revealed what they did or what August did. So the whole town mourned him because he was like a star football player. Yeah. And they just thought that it was just an accident.
A drunk accident.
So why don't we go to the prologue? So our prologue basically reveals that April, she hadn't expected a dead body to smell that bad. That's literally like how it starts. It starts talking about the smell of a dead body. And she keeps saying, well, you know, it's not the first time that I've seen a body. It's the second time. But still, you never really get used to that smell. And April looks at her sister August, and they're kind of both in shock, but mostly August. August looks like she's really, really in shock. And they just decide to go home, but like once they bury the body. So they're driving with the body in the trunk towards the cemetery spot to bury it there.
Can I just say, the first chapter is 3 pages long. I just think you could get so much character out of the dialogue because April is just so awkward. Like, that's just the type of person she is. So it's so funny to me, us not understanding what's happening. She's the driver. There's a dead body in the back, and it's like, so what are we doing after? And
you want to go to In-N-Out or something?
No, it's kind of weird to say. But it's funny because August doesn't respond because something traumatic just happened. Yeah. But in April's mind, she's like, I was going to recommend food, but I don't know if she's hungry. I'm starving. But okay. So in the present time, April is known to be an insomniac. She can't sleep often. And although her sister and her are close, it's that type of close where they can like not see each other for months and then she can just go over. She, because she struggles with sleeping, will sometimes just go to her sister's house at really weird times, watch TV, and then just go to sleep there. That's just kind of what it's always been. So one night she goes to visit and she just notices that the house is just quiet. And it looks weird because some of the lights are on, but it's super late at night. And she's just like, what the fuck is going on? So she goes to the porch, the front door, and she hears heavy breathing from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, what the fuck? And then she hears this like big slam, like a ceramic
like something
thing
broke.
breaking.
Mm-hmm.
And when she goes in, her sister opens the door, I think. And her sister's like, oh, we're good. You can just go home.
She tries to get her to leave.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, what are you doing here?
Mm-hmm. And April is just like, no, I'm going to come in. Something's wrong. And when she comes in, she sees August's husband, Roy, on the floor, and he has a knife through his back.
Yeah, and there's like a puddle of blood, which I love the descriptions of the puddle of blood. It's like, oh, it's in the shape of Florida right now.
Oh my God. Now it's the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, dude, that shit was growing. Oh my God. It's crazy because I think about how poorly April handled everything, and it makes me so angry. But she wasn't meant for this situation.
No. I mean, can you imagine being so constantly sleep deprived?
Dude.
I can barely function with losing sleep one day.
Dude, there was this one time, because I usually try to get 8 hours of sleep, and I remember I had fallen asleep a little late, and I got 7 hours. I thought I was gonna die. I didn't think I was gonna make it through the day. I just am so floored, I guess, with how poorly April did shit.
Yeah.
Because her first reaction was like, oh, I mean, my sister had to do it.
Yeah.
And it's even before she reveals anything, I think.
I think she starts thinking about those weird bruises that she would notice on her sister. And she knew that her sister and Roy had a bit of a toxic relationship, but it was never confirmed if it was abusive. But she thought maybe.
And it wasn't confirmed until then, because that's when her sister was like, I never wanted to tell you, but it was never good between us, and I've just had too much, and it led to this. And April was like, well, we need to call the police. You can say it was self-defense. But then her sister's like, it's not self-defense if you stab someone through the back. I can't. And Roy was friends with people in the force. They're going to know.
He was a police officer?
No, he just knew people.
What the hell did he do then?
I don't remember. But he drank.
No, I think that was the implication.
Was that what it was?
I have no idea, actually.
But there's a lot of plot revealed here.
Yeah, because then she even tells her sister April, well, I mean, there's this report on me because his friends stashed cocaine in my purse. And so he kind of he had that hanging over her head. Like, don't ever try to leave me or take my son, because you have this bad thing on your record. So now she kind of felt like she had to stay with him.
And April's just immediately like, hey, it's okay. Let's just clean up and let's just bury this bitch. And I think August is a little hesitant at first. And she's kind of really going through it. So she starts with a crazed look in her eyes, trying to clean the blood. But then the pool of blood is still growing, and she's still cleaning it. So it's not getting anywhere. So April, trying to be the level-headed one, is like, okay, let's get your boy Roy, put him in a tarp, roll him into the basement, keep him there for a bit. You, August, take a break, and I'm gonna go get everything we need to bury this bitch. So I'll be back exactly at midnight. We will make this work. And August is like, okay, fine. And April leaves. Oh, I did want to mention something. The entire exchange, April tries to hurry it up because the son, Justin, is upstairs in his room.
I pictured a little boy.
Dude, me too. Thank you. I thought this boy was 10.
Me too. I was like, oh, this is a child. So it wasn't until I think the end when they said their age, right?
I think that confused me the entire time. And I'll be honest, anytime this boy would speak, he felt 10.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like, he's too polite. I don't know. I feel like a teenager would kind of just be short. Very short and sweet.
Even the way he would text, he'd be like, love you, auntie.
Oh, he's so sweet. so small, so cute.
Yeah, I don't know. And I can't imagine an 18-year-old. I don't know. This is just me. I can't imagine an 18-year-old texting their tia and just being Lego Batman later. You know?
Was it the Lego? I think it was just the Batman, no?
Was he going to go watch Robert Pattinson's Batman?
The Batman?
Okay, never. This boy's 18. I imagine Lego Batman. He's like, can I go see Lego Batman?
Yeah, I pictured a child. So,
and I also, the reason I pictured a child is because August said, it's okay, Justin won't come down. When he hears arguing, he usually puts on his headphones and plays Minecraft. As a 10-year-old does.
Oh, you're right. She did say Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Children love Minecraft.
Dude, something about it. Something about those blocks.
I get it. It's like The Sims, I think.
Dude, Minecraft, I'm sorry. Unpopular opinion. Minecraft fucking sucks. Okay, let's keep going.
I just went to a Minecraft party, so take that back.
Did you?
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll take it back. It's amazing.
Can you imagine so out of every fandom that could cancel us, it's the Minecraft fandom.
They all come. Have you ever heard the sounds of Minecraft
yes.
characters? You know, when they're hitting someone, it's just like, ooh. It's like that. And we're like, dude, it's okay. I'll just take my slab of meat and eat it, as Minecraft characters do. Why do I know so much? Who knows? Okay.
Don't ask questions.
But April is the entire book, she has so much fucking paranoia that everyone knows. So
I would be too.
She's over here at Home Depot and the guy's like, oh, you're buying a shovel? What are you buying it for? And she's like, fuck. What the fuck am I buying a shovel for? She's like, I don't know. There's just so many.
Because it was late at night.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you doing? You burying a body?
No. Are you burying Roy? I didn't say Roy.
Who's Roy? And I think she just lies and says, oh no, I'm making a gardening.
Yeah.
Or I'm making a garden.
Yeah. A garden bed because there was rabbits and like all this shit.
She's saying too much. I'm like, shut the fuck up, April.
No, because back in 94 there was a bunch of rabbits and she like goes in a fucking spiel. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was funny because she leaves and she's like, I hear the cops already. Mm-hmm. I can hear them and it's all my fault because I couldn't buy a fucking shovel. And then she goes home. I thought this part was really funny because she's like, okay, I gotta pack my DIY bury a body kit. So let me get my little duffel bag. Mm-hmm. What do you take? 12-pack of Sprite, obviously. Some granola bars for the road, just in case the body's heavy and I get hungry. I think we're good.
I think you would have packed a Pepsi.
Oh, of course. Nitro Pepsis? Dude, okay, wait. In Minecraft. Burying a body and just be like, ooh, this shit's so smooth. Damn.
Oh my God. Hold on. Huh. For someone who always says in Minecraft. Anyway, back to the book. I don't want to derail. I thought it was so funny how, wasn't it April who parks the truck into the, in front of the house?
Yes.
So that they can easily move the body into the bed of the truck. Well, the neighbor, she was a little nosy.
Mary.
Mm-hmm. And she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? Mm-hmm. I don't remember what excuse she gives her.
Putting Roy away? I mean, fuck. It's funny because she doesn't know what to say.
Doesn't she say something about cleaning?
No.
I don't remember.
No, because Mary doesn't come out yet. She goes in to look for August. August isn't in there, but Justin is. And it's funny because she comes in and the kitchen is clean. So she's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And then she sees Justin and it's like, hey, I'm looking for your mom. And it's like, I don't know where she is. She's around. When her and dad fight, she usually sleeps in this room. Mm-hmm. She looks through all the rooms and then she finally goes outside and she sees August standing by the truck with a knife in her hands.
Yes, you're right.
And so then she goes up to August and is like, hey, what are you doing? Because she has a crazed look in her eye. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, I thought I saw him. I don't know. And then Mary comes out and August automatically switches and is just kind of like, oh, sorry, we just have the truck back here because we were going to clean, Roy went fishing. It's a fishy smell. So we're just going to clean the bed of the truck.
Mm-hmm. She's quick. I remember April was shocked at how fast she was. At
this point, because there was so much of the past and the present, at this point, I was under the assumption that August was just full of shit. Like, I thought she, the fact that she could just switch from like being scared to like, no, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I hated that shit.
Yeah, I thought something was up with her too. I was like, okay. Obviously, we didn't have the whole context of the past between them, but just the way that they would drop like little lines of, well, like before, or you know what I mean, like the callback to the past. I was like thinking to myself that there's something with August, and then you know what? I started laughing because as you were explaining what happened, I just remembered. Did it? Okay. I'm not gonna explain too much yet.
Okay.
But then, Roy's brother gets into this picture,
Benny,
right?
Yeah.
And I remember him saying something about, what was the son's name? Henry?
Justin?
I always think it's Henry. Justin, the 18-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Did he say something about taking him to baseball practice?
I think so.
That's why I pictured a child. I was like, aw, baseball practice. That's so cute.
Baseball and Minecraft. I put a pin in Benny because I got a lot to say about that fucking man. Can I say something that I did not quite like about this book?
What?
I was into this whole idea of them burying this body. Can you tell me why it took like 100 pages for them to bury this body?
So that is something I wanted to bring up. I feel like some books are very plot heavy.
Yeah.
Like world building heavy. And then other books are very character driven. You know what I mean? So I feel like this book was just very character. Yeah. So I think it was trying to take us on this whole journey of, well, April trying to, I don't know, go through the motions of what was happening. But I agree with you that it felt like it was too long. But I don't know. I don't know. I kind of liked seeing how different both of the sisters were. Yeah. And how they both acted when they were burying Roy. Yeah. Because when they went to go bury him, I felt like they completely switched. I don't know. Like, I understand that April was just kind of like out of the loop, but I thought she was going to take more of the initiative, especially because she was described to be stronger than August. So I thought that she was the one that was going to be like, okay, let's fucking bury this bitch. Yeah. But it was actually August. Did I flip their names? Whatever.
No, you're fine.
You know what I mean? But it was actually August who was the one burying the body. And then she was kind of rude to April. Do you remember that? Where she was like, oh my God, April, just go see if you can find a casket somewhere. Which I was thinking, why the fuck would there just be a casket? Do you know how expensive caskets are? There's not going to be just a casket around here.
And the thing is, though, there might have been. But no, but there might have been. But April was too scared to go in.
Me
so she
too.
Just lied to her sister.
I would be too. I'm not fucking going in there.
Wait, I want to put a pin. Sorry.
No more pins.
I want to put a pin because I want to add something before we go too deep into it.
Okay.
I
feel like I'm confused.
To me, the whole beginning up to when the body was buried, which it took 83 pages actually.
Wow.
And that wasn't even the body. It was like the first shovel thing.
Okay.
That was around page 80. I just remember feeling like it felt long-winded because I felt when reading this story, I loved the plot of this story. But I felt like if I were there, it would just be me looking back and forth between two people talking. Like it wasn't as immersive to the point where I could like take points of their life or points of like the setting to kind of like build like, okay, I'm here. It was just kind of like whole church. Like, I don't know. There was something about it. And
I agree that was how the story was written.
And I recently went to this book event with my sister, and the author who was speaking, he had mentioned that he thinks that to be a writer, you have to be a heavy reader. And I'm not trying to say anything about the author. I just kind of want to connect this thought, because when you read a certain amount of writing, you kind of learn from it, you know? And he was saying like, for example, people that read a lot of fan fiction, you'll notice if they become writers, they're really good at dialogue. Because when you're a fan fiction writer, you don't have to worry about world building because the world is built for you. So you have a lot of practice with dialogue. And I think I see that in a lot of the stories we read. I don't know anything about this author's past with her writing, but I felt like her dialogue was really, really strong because I could feel the awkwardness from April. Like I could feel just like the tension between them when they would talk. But I feel like the plot itself, it was hard to grasp it when it was just kind of like not really mentioned through the parts that weren't dialogue. It was always mentioned throughout the dialogue.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Pin out.
Okay, I think I understand. Do you mean like they didn't really reflect enough?
I guess so. It didn't really give me a chance to like, because I wish there was a moment afterwards where like fucking April just sat waiting in the Home Depot line like, I'm really going to bury this fucking body. Oh my God. Let me think about things that I did with Roy. He fucking hated me. And I don't know anything about him. How much do I believe my sister? Because it was just very much like she wouldn't feel that emotion until she was in the moment. Do I trust my sister? It wasn't until the moment that it needed to be said.
I kind of wish there would have just been a moment where like, you know what? He did look at me funny last Christmas, so fuck that guy.
Fuck that man.
I don't even care.
I would have loved that shit because then we could have at least seen like, oh, you do have past thoughts about him. Because it was never really mentioned. It was just kind of like, no, I didn't know him. Because even with the character later, Benny, I felt like there could have been so much with him, but he was only used for his dialogue. Like he was only put in the story to have like 3 moments to propel our character forward.
Yeah.
It wasn't because our character figured it out. It was because someone told her.
And then I was also, I don't know, like I guess we learned a lot through Benny. Yeah. Like you said that she didn't figure out herself.
And I don't know, it just kind of made me feel like our main character was incapable. And I hate that I feel like that about her because I feel like throughout the story, because, you know, this story goes full circle, she figures out everything at the end, whatever, we'll get to that. But at every moment in the story, I never felt like she was going to be able to get to that point.
Which is weird because didn't they describe her to be the smart sister?
Yeah. No, she wasn't. Because she was going to flunk out of high school.
I think I'm mixing the stories. So then August was the smart sister.
August, I think she did well, but she wasn't like emotionally well.
Okay.
But to take all the pins out, back to the graveyard, their new cemetery spot, they decided to bury Roy near a church. Oh my
God. This fucking moment.
This church, by the way, no one ever visits because there's a infamous story, where this pastor who had just been so overwhelmed, everyone believed that Satan had taken over his body. He unalived himself with a shotgun in front of everyone during mass. And because of that, people don't go there. And April brings up, like, I know I never really mention it because everyone kind of knows this story, but that fucking terrified me as a kid. Yeah. So of course I would never want to come here. So then when August asks her, hey, go get a fucking coffin, she breaks the window to go into the church. She looks in and she's like, hey, wait, hold on. Fuck that. And she like leaves. No coffin, sis. Oh, dude.
I would not have gone in there.
Hell no. Dude, I wouldn't have buried a body. So like.
Okay, but if you were put yourself in the situation if you were there.
If I got to that point, I think I would have looked in that church, been like, I think I'm having a religious moment. Hey, sis, I'm not committing sin today.
I think I just saw an angel, so I gotta go.
Sis, there's 47 Sprites in me. I drank so much Sprite on the way here. Dude, I thought it was so funny that April just kept fucking shotgunning. She was stabbing it with her keys and just drinking it as she goes. You okay, sis? How do you feel?
She really needed that. You know, she needed the energy. But, okay, so they're making a grave, whatever. And then they notice, oh, wait, the sun's going to come out in like 30 minutes. So let's bury this body. So they shove his body in, but it's not big enough for him. It's not long enough. Yeah. Because I think he was 6 feet tall or something. I don't know. He was tall.
So his limbs are kind of sticking out.
What the fuck, dude? That took me out because that's scary. I don't know. Just the idea of seeing that, I'd be so scared.
I didn't know Roy was that big. What, boy, 7 feet or something?
But then they decided, their brilliant minds, their two brain cells put together, they were like, why don't we just go in there and just hack him up?
this bitch.
Hack him up. It's fine. Ugh, dude, that is disgusting.
And the thing is, they didn't have the proper equipment, so it was like a hunter's knife and the end of their shovel.
How are they not covered in blood?
They're just that good. One clean hit. I got so much Sprite in me, I can kill a man.
Well,
I mean,
he's
August beat you to it.
Oh my god.
That shit was so crazy, but it's funny because they bury the body and it's just a huge lump of soil and fucking April, I think we did it. Sis?
No, it was August. August was the one who
you're right.
Who was the one? She was the one who was like, why don't we just put a couple leaves and then call it a day? Let's go.
Yeah.
And then April looked at it and was like, you can clearly tell there's a fucking body in there.
I feel kind of bad. What if we put a little paper, write his name, his address, and when he died and how he died? Like,
maybe not.
August? Please to the side, please. No, they bury this body and then it's over. Like, they've done what they needed to do. They go in the car. They go home, take Roy's car and his cell phone and drop it off at a bar he frequents and then throws his phone in the forest to make it seem that he went to the bar and left. And in order to make it like a clean alibi for everyone, fucking August has to pretend that she got in a fight with Roy, and she texts Benny through Roy's phone and through her phone. Got in a fight as Roy. I'm gonna go drink and drive around.
Because I think Benny was already calling.
Yeah, he was worried.
He was calling Roy a lot. And when he didn't answer, obviously because he's gone, he started calling August's phone. And so she texts on both phones, like right after each other. And then she's just like, okay, I'm gonna leave that there. But then April was the one who was like, you should call him. You should call him because like he's probably really worried about his brother.
Can you imagine August texting as Roy? She's like, much love, August. I mean, fuck, this is Roy. From the other phone, fuck, which one did you look at first? This is August. But she tries to make it seem clean. Benny's suspicious, but he doesn't say anything about it. He's just kind of like, okay, tell me if he turns up, whatever. And days pass. So
I thought it was the next day.
Is it the next day? Oh, it is the next day because August wakes up and she's like, fuck, I lost my watch. April wakes up and is like, fuck, I lost my watch.
Her Apple Watch. Oh my God.
Her Apple Watch.
Her iWatch. She needs that shit.
So she's like, I need to go. I feel like I left it there. I need to go get it.
First she texts her sister and asks if her watch is there. She says no. And she's like, oh shit, it must be in the grave then.
You know what I fucking hated? I hated that her sister was a bad texter.
Yeah, she was.
Hate that shit. It's like, we just buried a man.
Buried a man. Do you think?
I think we had a moment, sis. And you're over here leaving me?
On scene?
On scene? Hell no. So her sister says that the watch isn't there. So April goes back to where they buried this man. And when she digs up the graveyard, or
no, there's just a big ass hole.
Oh,
there's just a hole.
No blood, no limbs,
no Roy. So,
a little sad.
So then she starts freaking out.
What the fuck? Where's my Apple Watch?
No, her Apple Watch was still in there.
Oh, good. Oh, good. She's just kind of like, that's all that matters.
Isn't that crazy though that they decided to leave the Apple Watch?
I know. I would have fucking grabbed that.
Yeah, and kept it, right?
I mean, of course.
Right?
I mean, of course. I mean, if you took a body, I think an Apple Watch would be kind of like, oh, that's kind of a little plus. In Minecraft.
I think they probably knew that they could find my iWatch.
Was it actually an Apple Watch?
I think so.
Okay, I imagine like bought it at the dollar store watch, but okay.
No, I could have sworn there was something about this watch that was obvious that it belonged to April.
Oh, it probably was an Apple Watch.
Imagine we're both wrong.
I know, it's like an Android watch.
A Fitbit.
Dude, I fucking love Fitbits.
No, me too.
I love that shit. She gets really like, how am I going to track my sleep? My very little sleep.
2 hours a night.
But she freaks out, and I fucking hate that Auggie fucking never answers. And it's like, August, I'm freaking out. Like, something happened. We need to talk. And August is like, can we talk later?
Wasn't she not available? Because I remember she called the number and Justin answered, the son.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, hi, Tia. Oh, no, she's next door with Marie.
Yeah, she's helping Mary. She's helping her with something.
Yeah, because I remember she asked him if he could tell her to call her.
And then he forgets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I thought he was 10.
Me too.
Dude, he felt 10.
Mm-hmm.
An 18-year-old would have been like, Mom, I don't know, they are called. Whatever.
Whatever, I don't care. Leave me alone. I'm playing Minecraft.
Give me my 47 sprites and Minecraft. And it's like, oh, you're just like my sister.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he felt young. So I was always confused with that. But he doesn't tell her. And then the next day, August is like, I need to go over and talk to you. And it's like, well, not right now. I have company.
Yeah, she was super secretive.
Yeah.
I was so confused by this because she knocks on the door and then August comes out and she's like, what are you doing here? You can't be here. I have company. And she's like, well, it's super urgent. And she's just like, can we talk about this later? Like, I'm doing something right now.
I fucking hate that shit.
Who was even over? Sally?
Sally. And the only reason that was assumed was because the night that Roy was murdered, Sally kept calling August's number.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, who the fuck is this Sally girl? Why is she calling you so much? And why is she over during this moment in your life?
Mm-hmm.
During this moment that we share.
The special moment.
I know we already took them all out, but put a pin back in there. There is a third main character.
Benny?
No. Our boy Eugene.
Oh, yeah, Eugene. Tell us about Eugene.
Eugene kind of reminds me of the main character of Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, I thought that was the inspo.
Dude, I fucking love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just a man who is married to his wife Priscilla, and he just kind of hates her. And he's like, you know what? Love my wife. I feel like...
Love my wife at a distance, though.
I feel like I deserve a little bit of a man cave. So I'm just going to tell my wife I'm working. I'm overseas. And I'm just going to chill in this old-ass house. No electricity, no Wi-Fi. And just fucking sit here. Read a few books. Get to know the surroundings.
But his writings was like a diary entry.
Yes. So
love that
he
shit.
basically said in his little safe haven, he noticed a huge man and a 2-inch petite little woman take a body out of the back of a
truck.
SUV, wasn't it?
Oh,
the truck.
Oh, they didn't take the truck.
So, an SUV and bury it. And he's over here like, holy shit. They probably saw me enjoying my Nancy Drew. What the fuck am I going to do? And he's so paranoid that they're going to come back. And I think he even sees when April comes back. And he's like, I can hear them. I can hear them outside. I feel like the body is angry at me because I need to take it out. Eugene, he's so freaked out and feels like he has this obligation to that body to take it out and to just make sure he's not angry at him. Like, I think that's his whole thing. Like, I just don't want a dead body to be angry at me. What if dead body attacks me? So he's just in this constant state of fear. So we're under the impression this whole time that Eugene is the one who unburied the body. Mm-hmm. And I was so sure it was that fucking man. I wanted to see him. I kind of wanted to see him go crazy, go stupid.
I know.
Dude, I was waiting.
I was waiting. I mean, the way that he wrote, it kind of made it seem like he was about to lose his mind. So I kind of wanted to see that a little bit, but it didn't happen.
No.
It didn't happen.
I would have loved if when we would read his story, it would have been written in his handwriting. Because I like seeing people in books. I like seeing people's emotional state be represented in like how sloppy their handwriting gets. So I would have loved to see that.
Would have been cool. What if I can't read it though?
I think that's better. I think he's just writing Pepsi. It's like, oh my God, it's me.
It's like different ways of writing it.
Yeah. In Minecraft. Everyone in this fucking story plays Minecraft. So I want to pause here a little bit and tell you about how much I did not fucking trust August.
Okay, go ahead.
Dude, I just couldn't with the fact that she was hanging out with her friend Sally. It was Justin's 18th birthday and she threw a whole Minecraft party bash.
But then she seemed so happy.
Yeah.
And April noticed that and she was like, don't you think that you should look like you're in mourning because, you know, your man has been missing? I think at this point they had reported him missing. And she was kind of like, well, I mean, it's his 18th birthday. He's only going to turn 18 once.
Dude, he did not act 18. There was like a point where she even took him to go see the Batman movie, which, hello, Lego Batman. But
we don't know which Batman.
It was Lego. Come on. It was Lego Batman.
I thought Robert Pattinson was there.
But there was a point where Justin texts his aunt, April, and it's just kind of like, I ordered the jelly beans because they were my daddy's favorite. It's like, how old are you? Why? He fucking hated those jelly beans.
No, but even when it was revealed to him that his dad was missing, it was Benny who told him, right? Because they were like all together.
And Benny was like, how are you holding up? And
he was like, about what? And then when it was revealed to him that his dad was missing, he was like, what?
He's dead. I know he's dead.
My dad's dead?
Yeah.
I don't know, that moment I was like, oh, he
felt so small.
He's so cute.
I kind of would have preferred if he was 10 or maybe like 12 or 13. Actually 13 would have been the spot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that would have been a good one.
So I feel like his age really threw me off, but he was turning 18 and it was a huge thing because there was also the fact that apparently Roy hid money in the house and the mom was like, I want to use that for Justin's college fund.
August
said that. So, sorry for all these pins, but let's talk about Roy's brother, Benny.
Okay. So, again, Benny was calling both Roy and August that night that she murdered him, allegedly. And he showed up. I don't remember if it was like the day after, 2 days after, but within that week he showed up and he basically like scoped out the area. He was like, oh, I just, Roy left some shit around that I know he wouldn't want people to see because they had mentioned to Benny that they might get the police involved and report him as missing. So he was like, okay, well, let me just like scope the area around, make sure his porn isn't lying around before you do that. And they thought it was weird, but they didn't want to question it too much. So then he goes to, I think, the shed. And it's like a spot that's just for Roy. No one is allowed in there. It's just for him.
Yeah.
And so they just let him be in there. They let him scope the area in there. But he took a while. And I think it was April who was like, well, what the hell is he doing in there?
Yep. But they don't go down. No,
they don't. They kind of just wait till he's done. And then he's that character who's asking a lot of questions. Just I don't
blame him.
Yeah, I don't either. But then I don't know why, but he likes April. He like trusts her.
It's because he's only really known August. And that's why my don't trust August train is going so fast. Because he immediately is like, wow, you're not like your sister at all. And April's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, you're like nice. Like you're like the nice version of her.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you felt the same way, but it felt like there could have been something between them.
Yeah.
Had it been like a different time.
I thought that's where the story was going.
I'm glad it didn't though. Like I'm really glad they didn't do that to Benny. But there's a moment where August is making iced tea for both of them. And April and Benny are sitting in the kitchen. And Benny's just like, do you trust your sister? Do you trust about like what's going on? And then he looks over to the kitchen floor and he's like, what the fuck? Is that Florida over there? Do you see that?
Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, and then, but it's like
the blood stain.
The dried blood stain that's still left. And as soon as it's about to become a thing, August shows up again. And she's like, here's your iced tea. Thank you for stopping by. Go home. And Benny becomes a constant in April's life because they're meeting up to kind of talk about what they thought happened.
But August kind of pushes this to happen because she wants to know what Benny knows or thinks he knows.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird, but
I just think that if I was in this situation and I had a family member I never talked to, but all of a sudden I want to meet up with them, I'd be suspicious.
Mm-hmm. But I think Benny trusted April because even April was like, oh yeah, I don't think she's telling the truth either. But she was just kind of like playing along so that he would reveal more.
Yeah.
And I think they met up at a diner or something.
Yeah, they did.
And he reveals to her that his brother Roy owed a lot of money
to Big Mike. Big Mike? I think it was. It was to this man that has known to do very gory stuff to people who don't pay him back.
Mm-hmm.
And
which my immediate thought was, oh my God, August is fucked because of course they would go for the family next.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. I thought this was going to become a bigger thing. I thought that August was going to be like, oh my God, I need to run away with my 10-year-old boy, Justin.
My 10-year-old, 18-year-old, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hated that when August heard this. She was like, oh, that's great news. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then it was revealed to, we're going to speed this along, but it was revealed to that Benny wants to move to Mexico because he doesn't want to be part of this shit if something does go down.
Because I think he was also involved. So he didn't want them to come after him.
So then August hearing this news is like, that's amazing. They're going to pin it on Benny because he's leaving. It's so good. And April's like, what the fuck is wrong
It was
with you?
almost like too perfect.
Yeah. I had no idea what was going on. And then fucking Eugene with his writings like, that body, man, she looking like she needs to be undug. So like,
yeah.
I just didn't understand where this story was going.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to take us a little bit to more present time.
You mean the end?
Yes. I was so taken out with that scene where August was like, April, we did it. We got away with it. We deserve a little break. Why don't we go to, I think it was like a hotel and just have a girls' day. And they leave. By the way, meanwhile, the 18-year-old boy, Justin, recently broke up with his girlfriend. And I think his girlfriend had gone missing. So it's just kind of weird that your ex kind of just disappeared. Am I right? Okay.
But they never revealed that she went missing until the end.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember, I don't remember if it was, I think it was April. That was like, oh, are you sad? And he was like, oh, it's because I play too many games. That's why. No, I'm not changing. So that's why I thought 10-year-old boy.
So yeah, same. So they go on their girls' day and there's a moment where they're drinking alcohol to celebrate getting away with this. And April's just kind of like, I don't really want to drink. And August is like, no, you have to drink.
Yeah, that part was taking me out. I was like, why is she?
And this is,
I thought she was going to poison her. I was like, oh my God.
No,
this
but
is
didn't
it.
she try?
I think so.
Because,
I think that was the point.
Dude, because there was this line in that scene where August was like, never in this story has she ever doubted her sister. But only in this one paragraph, hope my sister doesn't poison me. And then all of a sudden, I guess the glass breaks and she tries putting the glass in her hand. Because if there was poison in there, it can seep through her hand. And then she goes, I guess my sister did try to poison me. It's like, that's your only reaction? Hello? If my sister did that shit, I would have taken the car, my Sprites, and ran. How is that your own? And then she was like, I hid in the bathroom and she's not chasing me, so I guess we're kind of cool. I guess we're cool for now.
I just feel like April wasn't reactive, She wasn't there.
I kind of felt
wasn't that just her?
Seeing this from like a person who deals with a lot of personalities, she kind of felt like she was on the spectrum. And I think that's why she didn't understand social cues.
That was my thought too.
So that's kind of my justification for her just being kind of like, oh, my sister wants to kill me.
Chill.
That's kind of crazy, if you don't mind me saying. But I mean, she's killed so many, so I don't blame her.
What's another body?
What's another one? So to the very end, I think, because there's this whole like side plot with Eugene where him and April are kind of friends because April pretends to be a fucking reporter. Also, fucking April, dude. Fucking April. I fucking hate that she was like, my name is Amanda, and then she says the last name of Roy.
Yeah, Mathers.
And then she's like, fuck. Well, why did I say that? And then,
I thought this was trying to be like a horror comedy, thriller comedy,
and
whatever.
Eugene's like the guy that's missing. no, like a coincidence. Am I right?
She's like, small world.
Can you give me a moment? And she like shotguns a Sprite. Okay, I'm ready. So, how do you feel about that missing body? Am I right? Also, why the fuck would a reporter go to a place that you didn't know people were at? Because no one knew anyone lived here, and just be like, missing body, huh? It's like,
what are your thoughts on that?
You're basically giving yourself up because you're in the only spot where the missing body was at. And no one knew it was at this spot. So why would a reporter go there? I was so fucking like, and Eugene's just like, no, yeah, she's a reporter. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Whoa.
She got that Apple Watch. Of course she's a reporter.
Isn't that the Apple Watch?
Wait a minute.
That was in the fucking grave.
You got me.
Oh my god.
No, but he basically reveals like, I really wanted to dig up that body because I'm scared that he was mad at me. He just has like a lot of attachment issues. I'm scared that he was mad at me, and I couldn't take him out because someone else did. Redhead, and it's like fucking Benny. Oh my god! And she was like, "Was it a redhead with a beard?" It's like, no, it's a little redhead that kind of looks like he plays a lot of Minecraft. He kept making the like the Minecraft sounds. That was crazy.
So weird.
He was holding his Minecraft plush and everything. He had a Minecraft shovel, crazy, a Minecraft pickaxe. And then she's like, oh my fucking god, it's fucking Justin. And so she's like, thank you, shotguns, 2 Sprites. You're the greatest, Eugene, I love you. And she leaves, goes to her sister's house, and he's like, oh my god, I gotta tell my sister, oh my god, this is crazy. And she goes over and she feels a barrel of a gun at the back of her head, and her 10-year-old, 18-year-old Justin's like, you just had a fucking drink, Sprites, didn't you? You just had a dig deep, didn't you?
He's like, when you know this is a Coke family.
It's always fucking you. A fucking outlier in this family. This family of killers. You're the one that doesn't want to kill, apparently, but wants to bury bodies. So I feel very strongly about this ending.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's revealed in the most familial argument. Like, so this is exactly what a family. Mama! I saw Dad getting mad at you and I didn't want him to get mad at you anymore, so I killed him for you.
Yeah.
Then you took my Xbox.
He definitely tried to justify his actions by
And then the mom
saving her.
Yeah, and then the mom was like, no, you don't get it. I hired my friend Sally to off him for us. And now I still have to pay her even though you killed him.
Even you should have waited a fucking day, Justin.
Mama, I said I was sorry. Dude.
So it was Justin, the 10-year-old, 18-year-old. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Were you shocked?
Yes. But can I also say, I just could not take Justin seriously. I didn't even know he was 18 until like the last 20 pages.
No,
so I was just kind of like,
I was picturing a child. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, so when they said another redhead, I was like, wait, hold on. A little kid with his fucking, you know,
his
the
little
shovels.
tricycle.
His multiple trips having to carry that body in the trike. Oh my gosh. No, we had known he was 18 by the point he got to the body, but it was just so hard.
We found out for the birthday party.
Yes.
So it was still near the end.
Yes.
But I still was like, that's a child.
But I just felt like this ending, it was so like, you killed your dad, and I know you killed your girlfriend because I found her sequin backpack, which, by the way, sequin backpack. I found her sequin
Slay
backpack.
queen.
In the fucking shed, whatever. And there's just so much fucking plot being thrown. And I feel like fucking April's just like, oh my God, this is drama.
Trying to keep up with both of them. Like, what
Keeping
is
up with
happening?
the Mathers. Oh my God. Fucking drinking her Sprites.
No, it's Coke now. This is a Coke family.
Oh yeah, she feels embarrassed. And she like just doesn't like. Okay. But she.
Have you had the Coke zero sugar Oreo.
That sounds disgusting.
It's so good. For someone who can't have Oreos, it's so good. It tastes just like it.
Okay, first of all, I didn't know you can't have Oreos. I'm so sorry about your loss. Second of all, it's not that bad because Oreos fucking suck.
Trying to lose weight for the wedding. So.
Dude, it's so funny because like you're getting married, but I'm also trying to lose weight for the wedding. But like, spoiler alert, I've been gaining weight. So
me as fuck. So it's been rough for the both of us.
It's so funny because where I work, in our lounge, they're always like, we always have healthy alternatives if you don't like what you brought for lunch. Dude, tell me when there was fucking brownies, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna take one. But I take one every time I fucking walk in there.
Oh,
and today I just kept going.
Don't blame you.
Today I was like, maybe I just want to walk in there for the atmosphere. Fucking,
you're like putting them in your purse,
putting them in my shirt. Dude, it's gonna be so hard to lose weight.
Dude, I feel the exact same way.
It's okay because fajas exist. So.
What's a faja?
If you're not watching, hold on. I want you to listen to this. A faja is a, that's exactly what it is. And if you don't understand that, you haven't been to a wedding.
It's like a corset? No,
it's
like a corset, but not a corset.
There's like an ugly English word for it, and I hate it. And I don't want to say it because if I'm wrong, people are gonna be like, "She's fucking stupid." So I'm just hold on. I'm gonna look it up because I feel. What's a faja? Okay, let me look at my recently searched.
Oh my god, you have me crying over here.
Oh, okay, not a wad of bills. Dude, that's the word I was thinking of. A girdle. That's
a girdle?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That makes me pack it in. It's like, come on, it's not that much to pack in, my guy. Don't call it a girdle. Call it cute. A goodle or something. Girdle to me is disgusting.
Girly.
A girly.
Dull.
A girly. What were we talking about? Sorry.
What happened at the end?
So at the end, all of this is revealed, but thankfully, our girl April did tell her apartment mate Sam, if you don't hear from me for an hour, like from an hour, find my friends and call the police.
Oh my god, if I had a roommate, apartment mate, condo mate, whatever the fuck, if someone comes to me and tells me, hey, if you don't hear from me in an hour, call the police, I would call the police immediately. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
That's crazy.
What are you doing?
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. But the police come and Justin's about to shoot both his mom and his aunt, but then he's like, fuck, I can't do it. And then he's
like, I guess I'm not a killer.
And then he goes, I love you, son. I love you, killer son. I love you too, killer mom. And fucking April's like, what the drinking her cokes. What the fuck is wrong with these people? So the ending. Justin is locked away. And I love that April's first thought is like, I hope my sister's not mad at me for putting away her murderous son.
But don't you remember that when that whole altercation was happening with, Justin, the police?
Yeah.
I remember April looking at August screaming like, oh my God, she's losing her son, right? Yeah. And didn't they have like a look to each other where she knew like, oh, she's never going to talk to me again?
Yes.
And there's no going back from this.
But then they did talk a little bit, but there was a point where April says, you know what? It's probably best that we don't see each other anymore. Mm-hmm. And August is like, well, what are you going to do? It's like, I don't know, maybe go to Mexico. Find myself a Benny. Benny and the Jets. Okay, that's fine with me that she did that. Mm-hmm. But it's just crazy to me that this story is just kind of like, I put away my murderous nephew and my superhero of a sister probably mad at me.
I'm going to go find my man. And then fucking cut to Eugene being like, oh yeah, my wife, Priscilla, yeah, she also goes by Sally. And we're going to go stay at this one place where she was supposed to kill Roy. Yeah. But now she's taking her husband. Why? You know why.
The end. Everything I said. This is where the credits roll. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So
Let me shotgun this shit.
Do it. Chug, 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 chug.
It's like a pinky up.
Oh my god. Really, really take it in.
The thing is, this story will stick with me for the rest of my fucking life.
Oh, that's good.
That's it's just
beautiful.
Because you can tell when this is like an author's early beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this author has a lot of potential, and I kind of want to read her first book.
Yeah,
because now I'm curious, like what it was like. Because this book, although it feels very strong, I feel like there are parts of this book that took me out so much that it didn't feel realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I will say, although she had very good descriptions, sometimes her descriptions started to match the personality of the characters, which is fine because it was in their perspective. But I don't know if you fucking remember that part where there was like, they were setting up for Justin's party, and then one of the helium balloons got let go, and it described the balloon to like float around and fall down like a loose fart. What the fuck? I remember reading that shit, and I was in the car, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm done. What? So to me, it's just kind of like,
but like you get it though.
No, I was the vibes. I get it. No, I just like, I know it like actually had me there.
I was like, whoa.
No, that's exactly what it's like. To me, it was just kind of like you're trying to make a thriller, but there are points in the story that feel so comedic that it doesn't feel like it fits.
That's what I'm saying. Like there were some parts where it felt like a horror comedy,
which is fine because that's what the It movies. That's like a good example of a horror comedy. Mm-hmm. I love that shit. Mm-hmm. But it didn't land because I felt like there was no development of what was going on around the characters. Okay. It was just, it happened as the characters were going through it. They would never think about the shit they were doing. They were just kind of like, burying a body now. It's Tuesday. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so, this is why I love talking to you about it, because I couldn't really pinpoint what it was that was bothering me about certain parts of the book, but it really is just that she would never really think. Like, I don't know, like think about the situation at hand. It kind of felt like everything was very linear. Like, even though we did go into the past, it just felt like, okay, this is happening now, and I'm just going to describe everything that I'm doing. And it's not really like, we're not really like thinking about our actions or really like what we said. If she would have just thought about how Roy was towards her, or if she could really like pinpoint a moment of his personality and how he acted with her, then maybe it would have felt more real to me. But everything just felt so like funny, like not funny, but like
it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
What bothered me too, and the thing that would have made it better, these two girls were obviously, there was something about them psychologically that wasn't like typical, which is fine. I mean, there are several people around the world with several different minds. I feel like April was on the spectrum. Yeah. And I think had that been mentioned during her birthday party, had it been like her showing up with mud after hearing her sister killed someone and her being like, I'm so embarrassed, bloody sister, whatever, but I have mud on me. To be so unaware of social cues, for that to be the reason why she's just kind of like, wait, I hacked up Roy? Do you think he'll forgive me? Like, it would have been interesting because it was like, wow, she's thinking in such a two-dimensional way. It makes sense why she's not like scared of the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, and I really like that whole not liking being dirty. I don't know, because you know how people have a thing with texture, like maybe just the texture of the dirt. Like they would have been, I don't know, it would have been interesting if while she was burying Roy, for her to feel the texture of the sand and just be like, oh, like, you know, like be disgusted by that, you know what I mean? But
not the situation. Yeah. And then for the sister, she felt like she was bipolar. And the fact that she could put on several masks and be like, how did you not know I was acting? that would be such an interesting dynamic to get into, to be like, we have a character who's bipolar and is supposed to raise someone who doesn't know social cues. But because these personalities were just thrown on them and not explained, it's just kind of like, it was a missed opportunity, you know? With the whole R word situation, that kind of with Dominic, that kind of felt like a weird way to force this story forward.
Okay.
Because it felt like, oh, that's why these girls are like this. You know, and I kind of hate it. It kind of feels like in horror and thrillers, there always needs to be people that are word.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like that, because that doesn't always have to be the reason people are
the way that they are.
Not saying, because I mean, there are stories that hit that point and do it in a way that really develops the characters. Sadly, you know, unfortunately they go through it, but it develops the characters in a way that makes sense. But I feel like I said, I feel like April was on the spectrum, but because it was never mentioned, I wish they would have mentioned it, like, oh, Dominic did this to me, but he also died. I hope he's not mad at me.
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked that, because it would have shown like, wow, she's so unaware of how bad this is.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of used and then never mentioned. It was just like, wow, April or August, my hero. I don't know.
Wow.
I had a lot of time to think about this story. It was funny. I had the flu and bronchitis, so I was over here dying, and I was like, fucking the Sprite that this girl's drinking.
Oh my God. I feel like I really did not like the ending. I almost wish that it would have been Eugene who just unburied the body and buried it somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Just to give it a proper burial or whatever the fuck.
That would have been crazy as fuck, because it would have been interesting. Hold on. Jenna, I'm pushing this to you. It would have been so fucking cool if, when looking for the body, I don't know, end up in the church and find the body in like the same way the pastor.
Oh my God.
And, you know, just kind of connect the stories. And it's like, wow, you brought my nightmare to life, but we're the reason that nightmare exists. Like, kind of like that type of shit.
Oh my
God.
Was
for you, Jenna.
Write that down.
You know, of course, that's not as thought out that I want it to be. But you know what I mean? I wish there would have been parallels, because even that story of the pastor, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But it felt like it wasn't developed enough.
I think they just wanted to have like an urban legend in that area.
Yeah.
Of where they were burying this body.
It would have been crazy too if Justin had unalived himself like that.
Oh my God.
You know, it kind of just like a cyclical thing.
Yeah. That would have been a mind fuck, honestly. Yeah. Oh my God.
But I will say, no, go ahead.
I just want to say, I don't know how to describe this, but I agree with you on April feeling like she was on the spectrum, because she reminded me a lot of the main character in Longlegs, where it's like,
I haven't seen it.
You're not really grasping this.
Yeah.
I don't know, like not very expressive. I don't know.
Which it makes sense why she took so much of this at face value and more like, what am I going to do at the Home Depot?
But it could honestly just be because she's an insomniac.
That too.
Imagine being sleep deprived like that. Oh my God. But
I wish the whole hallucinations part played a bigger part. Because there was one time she hallucinated that Roy was at her door, but that was the only time she ever hallucinated. Like, what if her whole thing was Benny was hallucinations? Like, I would have loved that shit, because they didn't know each other. So what if she was just sitting in that diner by herself?
Oh my God, that would have been sick.
I do want to say though, as much as go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Didn't this feel like a movie we would have seen growing up? I don't know how to describe it, and I don't mean that as an insult. Like, I really don't.
It would have been a movie that if I talked about now, it would have been like, it scared me as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's very reminiscent of things that I've seen in my past, but there's nothing that I can really pinpoint it to. It's just like a feeling that I had.
I think what I really liked about this story was the whole feeling of paranoia, because that was a huge thing growing up. So,
and still currently,
I'm scared all the time. I do want to say to Jenna, to the author of this story, I really appreciate that this story is even out. Because thinking about what she like put on paper, I can't do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucking hard.
It is hard.
Like, I think that this is a good stepping stone to like her path as a writer. So I hope what we're saying doesn't
because
come off as negatively. Because like I said at the beginning, like talking about books and breaking them apart, I do want to say I never once said I hated this book, but I will break it apart. Because I feel like the way to grow as a writer is to hear your story broken apart. Mm-hmm. And mostly from people that didn't get to see what was in your head. Mm-hmm. Because now that if you're thinking like, no, of course, they don't understand Justin because of this part. But it's like, oh, I didn't write that part. So of course they don't know. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think it's good to hear it from someone else's perspective. Who's not
close to you too. Mm-hmm. Who's not in your
we're close to Jenna. Us and Jenna. Wait, 3 fingers. Us and Jenna.
Well, I mean, like, who's not in your inner circle?
No, I get it.
So I have no idea I don't know anything about Jenna. So
she seems so sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so sweet. I thought it was really cute that on her mailing letter to us, she wrote the book fix, and I'm like, oh my god,
that was so
sweet. Some loose
she
Sprite
gave a sticker,
dude. I know
that was
and
so
pen.
sweet. Wait,
Bitch.
I think we're friends.
I actually really appreciate, like, it's hard to be an author, and I feel like, I don't know if you ever saw that one movie with Andrew Garfield, the
Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah, Tick Tick Boom.
You mentioned it, but no, I haven't seen it.
In the movie, Andrew Garfield's character is trying to get this musical to do well, and he just wants to pitch it to someone so it can finally go, I don't know, on Broadway or something, and that's his whole dream. And as soon as it does, like as soon as it's out, it doesn't do well.
Oh,
and
I feel that.
And then someone goes up to him and goes like, well, what did you think? Like, you got to make something else now.
You got to keep going. Works. Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to let one thing hold you back. You have to keep going.
And it's always the thing you least expect.
Yeah.
Honestly, to really pop off.
Because I think it was like his 4th musical, because it was based on a real person. It was his 4th musical that popped off.
Really?
And it's just kind of like, fuck.
Imagine if you wouldn't have kept going.
Exactly. So it's like, I never want authors that we talk about to feel disheartened with the things we say.
Unless it's Colleen Hoover.
Dude, I was going to say that. Oh my God. Fucking Colleen. Wait, hold this shit. Dude, on the fucking spot.
You and I are just...
Dude. Jenna, I got your back. Jenna, I'm like that meme of that one soldier that's covering the kids and it's like a bunch of things in his back. I'm that to you, Jenna.
I thought you were gonna say the meme. I don't know what it's from. I feel like I should know what it's from. Mm. The one where the woman is carrying the grown man. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, no. you haven't seen that one? They're like at a doorway. And she's just like carrying him. That's like gonna be protectively, us. You know?
That's gonna be us to Jenna. Dude, I fucking love that shit. I just feel like it's a lot more... It's a lot more intimate when it comes from an author who is trying to make a name for themselves. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. This was a fun conversation, dude. What time is it?
Dude.
Damn.
I feel like...
for you, Jenna.
I feel like we talked more than either one of us expected us to talk about this story.
Dude, I thought this was going to be a one and done.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it more.
Like one and done as in like 50 minutes. We're done.
Jenna,
move on.
I really hope we hear from you.
I know. That'd be so nice.
I really hope we hear from you because I just have like a lot of, I don't know. I hope she keeps writing. Overall rating. This story has a lot of potential and I think she's really good at writing dialogue. Mm-hmm. But what I feel like she needs to work on is building her plot. Mm-hmm. Mostly, building moments of reflection for the characters because although dialogue's important, inner monologue? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's just as important. Mm-hmm. So giving characters time to really think and just step back and look at where they're at is really important.
And if the character can't do that, then let us know that they can't do that, that they can't reflect.
And also, I will say facial expressions are super important. So if you can't express, like you said, if you can't express what they're feeling later, maybe at the moment express it through their expression. That's huge. So I really am looking forward to what this author is going to write. I think I'm going to read her first book because she did send it to us.
Oh,
sweetheart.
Yeah. I want to read it too.
I want to give this story like a middle point, 2.5.
Yeah.
It has a lot of potential, but I feel like it needs a little more work.
I feel like you and I are so in sync. It's crazy because I agree with everything you said. But for me, I think one of her other strong points is her, like, because this was so character driven.
Yeah.
So I feel like I know a lot about these characters, but what was just missing was, like Cheli said, was just like that inner monologue, or just the reflection or something. But I still feel like I knew a lot of these characters, especially seeing them in that like 13th birthday party for April. The only part was Justin. I feel like that was the part that really lowered the rating for me because he felt so young. And even when we had that reveal at the end where it's like, but mom, I did this for you. And you know what? My girlfriend, I don't even know why he got rid of his girlfriend. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because it kind of just felt like everything was being thrown at us, which I understand. It's a thriller, so you want to have that plot twist. I get that. But it kind of felt like, I don't know, like it didn't really hit.
And it didn't hit because there was no connection to why he was like this. Because although we pinned a lot of the reasoning behind this happening on August, it was always said, no, it was because Roy was abusive. So there was, and we knew nothing about Roy. Except from what other people told us. So I wish there were moments of just building the characters through surroundings, because at the end it just kind of felt like Justin did it to do it, and there was nothing else to it.
And that would
it rhymed.
And that would have been fine, honestly. Like if his whole reasoning was, I just wanted to save you because the dad was abusing her, he just did it in the spur of the moment. Okay, fine, that would have been fine. But then throwing in the whole thing about the girlfriend, so you're telling me that he's just like the dad? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it didn't hit for me.
Yeah.
So I think the story could have been a lot stronger had this just been like, oh no, I just did this out of, this emotional distraught that I was feeling from seeing my mom get hurt. And yeah, like honestly, it was honestly just that. I mean, I didn't really love the Eugene aspect either, but it was mostly because I thought it was going to be a bigger role in the story.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way as you, where I think the story is strong enough where I'm going to be thinking about it.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I want to read what Jenna writes next. But I think I would give it the same rating, a 2.5. Yeah,
and I do want to say, Jenna, you're still our girly. We don't have a name for the people that like us, by the way.
The Boofies.
The Boofies! Oh my gosh, you're a Boofy.
Boofy?
Boofy.
Boofy sounds too romantic.
Sounds like Baja.
Baja?
Kind of sounds like Baja, where it doesn't really have a meaning to me.
No.
Our girdles.
A girdle. No. I hate that. I hate that word.
How would you say it?
Boofy.
Boofy? I like Boofy.
Boofy sounds like romantic.
Kind of sounds like Goofy.
That's my boo.
Bofies. Did Frida McFadden rate this book?
Yes.
Did she?
I remember seeing it. Oh my god.
By the way,
wait, did I see the rating before she contacted us? Oh my god.
Did you?
I don't know. I'm mixing the timelines.
I feel like she did rate this. I want to find it.
What kind of
someone named Amy gave this a 5 out of 5 and said Frida McFadden had the recommendation for this book on her Facebook page. It didn't disappoint. It was an excellent read. I did not want to put it down. I'm so glad that Frida's endorsing you, dude. That's so cool. By the way, didn't mean to call you dude. I'm sorry.
It just feels like we're, at that level.
A lot of people are bringing up that Frida recommended this. That's so nice. Because, I mean, you have so much potential. I feel like I'm ready to see more. To everyone who is listening to us, Thank you so much for listening to us, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. It means so much to us. And if you can leave us a rating of 5 stars, because we really love doing this. And honestly, leaving a rating does a lot for us with exposure. That would be amazing. If you want to recommend us our next read, we currently are full until October. But please continue to recommend us books. We will just throw them into November. I recommend cozy reads, romance, and nothing that scares me because I'm scared all the time. If you want to support us and you have a little bit of extra money, what can they do?
So we do have a Patreon, and at the moment there's not a whole lot on there, but it really just serves as a way for our listeners to let us know that you really, really enjoy our content. You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want the commitment of monthly, then you can find us on buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix or coffee, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix.
If you want to or if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we post every Tuesday and Thursday, that would be amazing. If you do want to support us on social media, we do have a Goodreads and Instagram and a Threads at The Book Fix Pod. And we also have a TikTok at The Book Fix. Thank you. Why don't we go ahead and read a positive and negative rating on this book?
Okay.
I will do the negative one. This comes from Crystal, who gave it a 2 out of 5. Thanks to NetGalley and the publisher for this arc. I was really interested in reading this one based on the premise. I thought it would have more horror elements than it did, but it read more as a thriller than anything else. The premise was interesting and the family dynamics were certainly interesting as the story took twists and explored the relationships that played out. I did think the plot had a lot of potential too, but unfortunately it wasn't quite what I had hoped, and it did end up a little convoluted, which I was disappointed with. I found the end of the book wrapped up really quickly and didn't really go where I would have expected. While I guessed the twist, the ending felt a little rushed, so that was a bit disappointing. I also found that there were some parts of this book that felt really repetitive, which didn't gel well with me. I didn't find that I connected well with the main characters either, so that was a shame. There was the definite suggestions that they deserved to be rooted for, but I just didn't get a huge sense of follow through.
Okay. So my 5-star read comes from D. They wrote, "Holy cow, this book starts out with action that is nonstop. Guarantee you won't want to put this down. I thoroughly enjoyed the writing style of this author. Even though it's a thriller, I giggled a few times. Jenna's writing style is almost poetic at times, for lack of a better word. Thanks, Jenna Moquin, for the chance to read an advanced copy of your wonderful book."
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. I still have your copy of Invocations, but I feel like it would be really nice if you got one of those don't put an oil in the wall floating shelves, and we can start putting up the arcs that we get.
Oh my god, that'd be so nice.
Yeah. It'd be nice too if you got frames and we frame the really funny comments that we get.
Oh, I thought you wanted to put a frame of you. a selfie of you above you, a selfie of me above me.
I love
And we're
that
just looking
shit.
very business.
I love that shit. Oh my gosh.
Should we?
And a selfie of you, me, and Jenna. Right?
Oh my. Do you think Jenna would be mad at us?
I freaking love her, so I really hope she's not. I really hope that she listens up until the very end. But I feel like it's hard to hear something that you worked on be ripped apart. But I mean, I've been in...
We did not rip this apart. If you listen to our
co-host,
our wine and reads, remember that?
Oh, I miss that.
I miss that too.
Honestly, it feels very intimate having had this book sent to us. And it feels nice. I feel like you and I are really good at discourse.
I think so too.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think we are.
Yeah.
It almost feels like we're leading a creative class workshop.
Okay, welcome to Creative Writing 101.
Step 1, write that shit.
Dude, I don't know, because it's like, I'm a teacher and you're like a full-fledged writer, so it's like, it
perfect
really,
duo.
Yeah, perfect duo.
Oh my god. Okay, next time you see us, we're gonna have 2 selfies. No, I'm just kidding. We're still in spooky season.
Jenna, we need a Photoshop a selfie. Oh my god. We gotta make this work, Jenna.
Oh my, she blocks us.
We love you, Jenna, please. I loved your pen. I loved your stickers. We should read the other book.
We should, yeah.
Queen.